Hello, this is Lorna, your resident bibliophile, checking in for video number 2. Now, I want to start off by thanking everyone who left comments on my video. You were also warm and welcoming and really encouraging to this whole process. I completely appreciate all of your kind words, and especially you all have a special place in my heart, my 12 subscribers. I am over the moon. I cannot imagine getting to double digits on my first video. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, it's only 12, but to me, you guys are priceless. So what I wanted to do today is just talk to you about a couple of my favorite books, which got turned into either TV shows or miniseries. Now, we're not talking movies. There's tons of those. I'm talking more basic cable. First one I want to talk about, of course, is a classic. It is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which is written by Sir Arthur Doyle. Now, contrary to popular belief, this is not one book, but actually a series of 4 novels and 56 short stories, which were printed between 1891 and 1927. A couple of the more popular series that have spawned from that, of course, are the British Sherlock and the more Americanized version of Elementary. Now, both of these are great. I have definitely watched both of them, but my personal favorite has to be Sherlock. Of course, I love Benedict Cumberbatch. But besides that, I really believe that the British TV series gives the series a heart that I can't be replicated in any other way. It really stays true to the feel and to the storyline and to the plot, especially on the first season. Now, the second and third season kind of go off on their own, but if you watch that first season, it is almost a mirror of some of the more famous Sherlock stories. Of course, one of the particular ones being A Study in Pink. Besides Benedict Cumberbatch, you also have the amazing Martin Freeman, which you, I'm sure, recognize as playing Bilbo Baggins in the Hobbit trilogy. I think both of them have a great chemistry. They play off of each other. They're funny, they're witty, they're charming. It's hands down just phenomenal. If you haven't checked it out, I think you should. Now, I do believe you may be able to watch at least the first 2 seasons on Netflix if they haven't taken it off. I'm not for sure. If not, I'll link it down below. But I know for sure you can definitely get all of the current seasons, everything up to date on Amazon. Now, the second one I'm going to talk about is actually a series of 2 series and 2 books. And the reason I'm mentioning them together is because one is actually a continuation of the storyline of another. Now, those are The White Queen and The White Princess. Both of those are novels written by Philippa Gregory, which are turned into series on Starz. The reason I like this is, A, of course, I love historical fiction, and B, I love intrigue and plot lines and the Yorks and the Tudors and, you know, the story of Elizabeth Woodville and how she went from being definitely higher class but not royal. So she was of high birth but not royal, going and falling in love with the king and the fallout from that, and trying to stay in the crown and trying to make sure that the Tudors didn't take over. Now, I don't want to say too much because it might give away some spoilers. I definitely don't want to do that for you. But if you enjoy that type of storyline and those type of sets and time periods, definitely check it out. It's phenomenal. Not very kid-friendly, so you might want to wait until the kids go to bed. But both of those together is The White Queen is, of course, of Elizabeth Woodville. The White Princess is the storyline following her daughter and the fallout from everything that happened from the first season. And then also it has an underlying tone of, you know, kind of superstition and borderline like witchcraft in a sense. And I think it flows really well together. It's one of those you get into and you get just hooked and you have to just keep watching it. So good thing you have at least 1 season of The White Queen, which is complete, and 1 season of The White Princess to go ahead and binge. Now, the third one is actually very famous. There's been a lot of talk about it, and it is, of course, The Handmaid's Tale. I read that book by, Margaret Atwood. I do have notes. I can't remember everything, especially after a long day at work. I even have them in this really cute notebook with a flamingo on it. I have a thing for flamingos. What can I say? But back to The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. It was actually written in 1985. And this is one of those books that just stuck to me. It really just kind of pulled me into this eerie sense of this could actually happen. Especially given our current political climate, it's not unheard of to think that some rogue religious group could come and take over the country and make everyone go back into puritanical times where women were just used for breeding purposes. Now, the series itself is so well written, follows the book almost to the letter. I really enjoyed both. I really enjoyed Elizabeth Moss. It just failed me for a second, her name. And her portrayal of June and Offred. It will make you cry. It'll make you think. If you haven't watched it, you should. Turn it on. Grab some tissues. It's worth every minute of your time. Now, the last, but certainly not the least, my current favorite series now. Everyone's like, is it Game of Thrones? No, it's not Game of Thrones. I do love Game of Thrones. I will admit I have not read the books. George R.R. Martin, I just have a hard time getting into his novels. I will probably try again, but up to date I haven't. I do love it though. I'm very excited about the next season, but that is not my current favorite. My current favorite is just so beloved because I love the author, and I think that, again, it's on Starz. They knocked it out of the park, and it is American Gods. Neil Gaiman is brilliant. If you haven't read the book, go run to the bookstore and get it. Get it now. It's worth every second of your time, and his world building and his way of bringing things to life is just awe-inspiring. Now, I was very worried, I have to admit. I loved the book so much, and I was so worried about how they were going to bring this to life and give it its proper justice, and I was just flatlined with how they pulled it together. Now, I do have, again, notes. I'm not going to hide, like, I have this all memorized because I don't. Now, the three main characters, of course, are Shadow Moon, and he is the one that you're following. He's the one that's going through this whole process. He meets Mr. Wednesday, which is played by Ian McShane, and of course his lovely wife, and you will hear her storyline. I'm trying not to give away too many spoilers. I really want you to go check it out for yourself, but if you enjoy superstition, if you enjoy, you know, anything regarding Norse mythology, Greek mythology, any kind of mythology you could think of, if you enjoy just wit and charm and humor, if you enjoy, you know, just feeling immersed in this world, if you enjoy shows where you don't know who to root for because you don't know who's evil and who's not evil and who's good, and there's all this gray area, check it out. Really check it out. Check it out. Tell me what you think, and I will rewatch it with you every single episode. It is absolutely phenomenal. I can't rave about it enough. I hope I'm giving you enough information about it. I don't want to give any spoilers. It's so easy to do it because there's so many little things in there that if I said one thing, it would just give so many other plots away. But definitely the book itself is one of those you could reread over and over and over again, and you're gonna find something new every time. You're going to see a new character in a new light. You're going to see this one little piece that you missed the first time. These characters will just come to life in a way that you will really believe in the possibility that these American gods could truly exist. So those I guess 5, but those 4 are the ones that I've really gotten into. I think they're not necessarily ones that are talked about a lot. American Gods has got some publicity, and so had The Handmaid's Tale, but I don't see a lot on The White Queen. I think it's very niche. I think that a lot of people, unless you enjoy historical or unless you enjoy classics, I think maybe a lot of people might not be drawn to it. But check them out. Tell me what you think. Tell me some of your favorite TV shows that are based on books down below. I'd love to hear about them. I will be happy to take any suggestions, check them out myself, tell you what I think. Now, there are a couple I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward, of course, to the second season of American Gods. Can't wait for it. Counting down days. I'm also looking forward to the second season of The White Princess. I do need to finish this first season. I'm that close to finishing it. I got a couple more episodes. And I am just ecstatic for another book by Neil Gaiman. And actually, this one is a combination of him and Terry Pratchett, who unfortunately is no longer with us, and it's very, very sad. And it is Good Omens. I love this book. Another book, if you have not read it, you have to go check it out. The best way I can describe Good Omens is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Apocalypse. Phenomenal, funny, British wit, and just one of those that also has an amazing, amazing, amazing audiobook. There's a specific audiobook that they do a full cast for. Check it out. Download it. It's worth it. It really is, and it really brings the book to life, and I'm so looking forward to seeing what they do with Good Omens, and when that comes out. I think it's in 2019, and of course I am duly excited that it has David Tennant, who has always been my doctor. I'm slightly obsessed with Doctor Who, just a fun fact about me, and David Tennant has always and will always be my doctor. And if you didn't know, another reason I love Neil Gaiman is because he actually has written a couple of my favorite episodes for Doctor Who. So before this gets any longer, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope I gave you enough information to get you intrigued about some of my favorite series. Like I said, let me know what your favorites are, and also let me know what you might like my next videos to be. I am going to do a book review. I have to finish my book, but I am very excited to bring that one to you. And let me know if you want to see either a top 5 of my favorite children's books for under 5, or if you would like to see another booktuber tag that I do. And if you have some suggestions of other things you might like, let me know. So thank you guys again, and you have a great evening.